right, everybody, you saw the title. Today we're going to be making an oh so delicious beef and cheese stuffed shells. Now let's get into it. So we're going to be starting out with our ground beef. And here I have like 1.25 pounds to almost 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And what we're going to do is brown this off. So once we cook this halfway, then we're going to go ahead and add our seasonings. So while this is going, you also want to go ahead and get your shells in the pot of boiling water. So you want to use these size shells, or this is called jumbo shells. So you want to make sure it is jumbo or large. Do not buy small or medium. They do have small, medium, and jumbo. Make sure you're using these jumbo shells. I'm just going to pour them in our pot of boiling water, and I'm going to cook them until they are half done. We'll be right back with our meat. All right, now that our meat is halfway done, we want to go ahead and add some spices. And I have kosher salt, black pepper, paprika, onion powder, and garlic powders. I'm just going to go ahead and get all of that in here, and I will give you the exact measurements later. We're also going to be adding a tablespoon of minced garlic and some diced onion. I had purple onion. If you have a white one, that is fine. It's just that this is what I have. I didn't have any more white onions. So just go ahead and get the onion and your garlic in it, and then we're going to cook this meat all the way through, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that your meat is done, we want to go ahead and remove half from the pan. One of the other spices I forgot to mention is oregano. You want to add 1 teaspoon of oregano. So I'm just going to take out half of our meat, and this is the meat that's going to be used for actually stuffing the shells. So you want to let this cool down, because we're going to put this in our pasta. So you want to let that cool down before you add it to your ricotta cheese. And the rest we're going to go ahead and add some sauce to. You just want to get your pasta sauce, whatever pasta sauce you like, and we're going to mix it in with our ground beef. So whatever you like. I'm using a tomato basil. If you like chunky, you can go with that, whatever you like. It's going to be our base sauce that will go on the bottom and the top layer of our stuffed shells. Okay, everybody, so now let's get to making our filling. So what we're going to be doing is starting with some ricotta cheese. So here I'm just using regular ricotta. And don't worry about the meat in there that you see, that's fine. We're going to be adding meat to it. So I have a 15-ounce container, which is a small container of ricotta cheese. And I'm just going to put that in the bowl. Let's get 1 egg. Add that to the mix. Then we're going to get a little bit of black pepper. Just a sprinkle of some salt, and parsley. I'm using the dry parsley leaves. If you have fresh, go for it. I didn't have any fresh parsley, so we're going with the dry parsley. Right? So let me just give that a quick stir. And the egg is really going to bind everything together with the yolk. Right, and next I'm going to go in with some shredded Parmesan cheese. And also some mozzarella. That's the Parmesan, and this is our mozzarella cheese. All right, so now let's go ahead and give that a stir. And lastly, let's go ahead and add in our ground beef. That's why we separated the ground beef, so we can add in some of this to our stuffing that's going to be in the shells. All right, now we're ready to mix everything together. Okay, so our shells are ready. So I cooked them for about 8 minutes, so they're not completely cooked, which is perfect because you're gonna finish cooking them in the oven. All right, now that our stuffing is ready, we're gonna go ahead and start stuffing our shells. Obviously, the first thing you wanna do is wash your hands. They should have been washed from the get-go. So I'm gonna be using an aluminum pan. You can use, obviously, a regular baking dish, but I'm gonna use an aluminum pan today because I wanna try to make a pretty decent amount. So I'm just gonna take and put some ground meat with our sauce on the bottom of the pan. So that's the first thing you wanna do is get some sauce on the bottom. And if you don't want to use ground meat, you don't have to. You could just, use a regular sauce as well. But we're going to be using some ground meat in our sauce. A plate. So you're going to just take your first shell, open it up like so, get your spoon with your filling, and just put some filling in there, like so, and then place it, try to close it a little bit, just place it in our pan like so. So again, take your shell, open it up, get a nice helping of our stuffing, and then try to close it up like so. And just put it on the side, and hopefully I can make at least 25 or so. That's what I'm aiming for, to at least get 25 of these shells. Okay, so we are now finished stuffing our shells. What we have over here is 12 right here with just the ricotta and meat mix, and then this is a mix of the ricotta mix and the sauce alone. So I also had extra sauce, so I just made extra filling, so I just made 10 more. And again, it's a mix with the ricotta stuffing and just the ground beef. So now what we're going to do is cover this with our ground beef and sauce. So we're going to go ahead and just pour that right on top, the sauce. Alright, so now let's go ahead with our Parmesan and our mozzarella, and then we're going to pop this in the oven, 375, until our cheese is melted and everything is nice and golden. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this in the oven on 375, and we'll be back to show you the finished product. All right, so here's our stuffed shells. They are completely done. They've been out the oven cooling for about 10 minutes now. So I just want to go ahead and take 2 out of there. Oh yeah, you see that steam? You might not be able to see it, but it's hot. So let's move that over here. Ooh, the pan is still hot. Yikes. All right, so here's our 2 shells. We're just going to give them a taste. You see when you cut them open, the ricotta. Nice. This looks so good. It smells so good, y'all. This tastes perfect. It's perfectly done. I had it baking up on 375. For like 25 minutes. It is so good. Add as much cheese and sauce as you like. It reminds me of a lasagna for the most part. Very similar to lasagna. It's the same thing. The shells, the cheese, the sauce. This is super good, y'all. Y'all gotta give this a try. It might be like, I think it's probably similar work as lasagna, except with the lasagna you're actually layering the pasta. Actually, this might be a little bit more just to stuff. You know, take your time to individually stuff each shell, but well worth it. You can stuff it with whatever you like, but again, the cheese mix and the beef. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you will make this dish. And I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.